All right, so you have now clicked this button. You are needing some tips for finding stuff in Canvas. That's fine. It is super confusing. Every teacher's Canvas page is a little different. So good job asking for help. So let's just go quickly over these boxes real fast. In this box, if you click it, it takes you to Mr. Palmer's disclosure, expectations. Disclosure, remember, has all my policies for grades, turning in late work, how to turn in work, all that fun stuff. It also has all the policies with and for the Accelerated Reader Program, assignments, test quizzes, my behavior expectations. If you're an online learner, there's a whole section there just for you. So that's what that tab's all about. If you ever get lost within Canvas, just go back to home and it will lead you. It will take you back to the home page and you'll be able to go where you need to go. Kind of a good starting point. Just FYI, your screens might look a little different. I might have some extra options over here, but the basic is the same. All right, next box is the AR reading box. This has all the information for AR points. This is a big part of your grade. And last year I had a lot of students asking me the same questions over and over and over again about AR points. So here's a screen that gives you the basics of that. It even gives you your login for AR points, or to take AR tests, sorry. It's right there. Back to home, because remember, home's our starting point, good place to start and end. Oh, look at that. The bell schedule, if you click here, it will give you all the times, the bell schedule. Now remember, this has a schedule for first, second, and third lunchers, so it can be a little confusing, but it has all the times, especially for Fridays. If we have an assembly or an afternoon activity, here's a schedule for that. So you should always be able to log in and see exactly what time the class you're in gets out, what time your next class starts, all that. Let's see, I can't remember which one is next. Next up is the weekly news. This tab's currently not working yet. Once we kind of get started with the quarter, this will update and we'll have the schedule for the week, what assignments will be included on that quarter's grades, all that fun stuff. Mistakes found. This is what we talked about. This is where you go to log any mistakes that you find in the real world. So if you are driving down Main Street and you notice that Ace on their big billboard made a spelling mistake on something, you tell me where you found that mistake, how it should have been written, or what the mistake was, submit it, and that will count as your entry. You can only enter once per mistake, so you can't do double entries. At the end of the year, remember, I'll put you in for a drawing and you will have an awesome prize. I promise it'll be good. We'll have first, second, and third place. So just remember, if you ever find a mistake in the real world, whether it's in a newspaper, online, a blog, an email, commercial that you watch, a show, advertisement, anything in the real world, and you're like, something's wrong with the way that's written, what is wrong with it, and you record it and tell me what it was, I'll put you in for the drawing. So that's that. Mistakes I found, and we'll talk about that more in class. Back to the home page. I picked a great day to do this because the internet is so slow today. I think everybody is just uploading as fast as they can. All right, so if you need help from home, if you click this link right here with my Gladiator, it'll take you to my contact info. It has my email, has a school phone number. You can call it. This will take you to the office to Kami or Dee, and they'll transfer you down. If I am teaching at that time, you're probably not going to get me, but school gets out at, I think, 2:20 or something like that now. So anytime after that, I'll be for sure available to take your call. Email is by far the best because I check my email multiple times a day, probably multiple times an hour, and I can usually get you a quick response. We can also set up Google Meet, a Zoom meeting, a screencast, whatever you need to help you out. This goes for whether you are in person or at home learning. If you need help, we can get it for you. All right, so I think that covers all the boxes at the homepage. They may change. I may add stuff. I'm not sure how this weekly news one's going to work out. I have high hopes for it, but it might change. So yours looks a little different. You can't see these ones, and that's fine. And I don't think you can see these ones either. It's kind of the teacher ones. The big one for schoolwork. So you're wondering how the crap do I find my assignments? Well, you come over here and you go to modules. Modules keeps all of your work organized in the right order. For the first little bit, I'm going to be putting days, so what day we're on, and that's for me and for you, just so like the home learners will know what day we're on and all that. I'm only going to publish work for that day, so each day will be a new assignment or a page will pop up for that day only. That way that you're not getting too far ahead, and it kind of paces you so you complete one task, go to the next task, and just keep moving forward. So this is kind of just an example. These assignments may or may not be there, especially if you're watching this and we've been a couple weeks into school and you're like, I didn't see any of these assignments. Well, they may or may not have been published, so don't worry about it. The little icon next to the words kind of gives you a hint of what they're going to be. So this is a discussion, this is an assignment, and this is a quiz. Those are probably the three big ones that you're going to see. The one I want to show you real quick is the discussion, because it can be a little tricky. A discussion is just like what it sounds like. We're communicating with each other. Students are communicating with each other and all that. So if there's a question right here, maybe it will say, what's your favorite color? You need to reply to that question. These discussions can and most likely will be graded. So when you go to reply to a discussion, you don't want to click in this box. This is just searching for responses. You want to click this reply button, and that will take you to a place where you can type all your fun stuff and reply. Most likely, our questions will be short like this, and it won't take you long. After you type it up, you hit post reply, and you're done. So when you reply to a discussion, ignore this box right here. I wish I could get rid of it. A lot of times students will get so super excited to respond and type in their response here, and they'll say, Mr. Palmer, how do I post this? Well, you gotta hit reply, and then this box will pop up. All right, so that is discussions. Next up, I'll show you an assignment because they can be a little tricky too. So this is the About You assignment. What I like to do is I like to embed a Google Doc or a Google slide in the assignment, and that's how you'll submit it. Now yours is going to look different. Just be aware. If you wanted to, you could complete this assignment. I mean, you're going to complete this assignment through this Google slide right here, and you can add as many slides. This works just like normal Google Slides. And you could do it all within Canvas. But as you can see, it's pretty tiny, and it kind of gets a little crammed. If you click this link right here, it opens up that same document will open up on its own screen or its own window, and you can work on your project here. Now, the cool thing is, if you go back to Canvas, your work will all save right here. So even though you have this window open, working on your project, it's linked. That's a direct link. So whatever you do in that separate window will show up right here. Sometimes it may be a little slow and you might have to refresh, but it should be instant. Now, when you're all done, let's say you've got this assignment done, you've worked on it for a couple days, you're ready to submit it, your screen will have a submit box right here. And so when you're all done, you hit submit, it'll let you, that submit box will not go away. So you can submit it 15 times and that box will still be there. It just overwrites your submission. So if you submit it one day and then you get home and you're like, ah, dang it, I forgot to add this slide. You come in the next day, add the slide, you can hit submit, and it just overwrites the your submission from yesterday. It never goes away. So be aware of that, and that will be right there. All right. Last one is the quiz. The quiz is the easiest one. Not a lot to them as far as submitting. If you click on, this is a quiz that we might have, or we might have had, depending on when you're watching this video. But you basically answer the questions. It's a matching or whatever it is, and then you hit submit. I can't really show you a whole lot on this one because, well, maybe I can. You would choose your correct answer right here, hit submit, and it's done. Most quizzes will only let you submit them once, so you can't redo them. So that's kind of the purpose of a quiz, is to test your knowledge of that subject. So if you're taking a quiz, know that you need to take it super serious and realize that you will not be able to redo quizzes. Just be aware of that. Okay, so let's go back to modules. One more thing I want to show you, and I might have already talked about this, but I want to make sure you got it. Each of these gray looking boxes is like a different unit. So in here we have, like, I have 4 units. You may or may not have all 4. You may only have 1. It just depends on what I show you and don't. But you can kind of expect that, this is unit 1. We're talking about the short stories. And then this is the Restart book that we're going to read. All the assignments that have to do with this book will be listed under there. All the assignments have to do with this, whether it's a quiz, a discussion, whatever it may be, will be listed under this. This kind of keeps it organized. And I'll try to keep it as clean as possible so it's not like a whole bunch of garbage being thrown at you all at once. The only other thing we need to talk about is up here, the announcements. If there's something important going on, especially for our home learners, I'll put up an announcement. You should get an email copy of the announcement, and it should notify you when you log in. So I think I've got just about everything covered there. Just be aware of, that things can change depending on how the year goes, the quarter goes, the term goes. I might remove some of these. I might add some. If there's something that you would like to see right here, you're like, hey, Mr. Palmer, this would be super helpful if we had a link to this. Let me know. I can put it in pretty easily. So just be flexible with all this. But this is kind of your home landing. It should give you a good blueprint to get wherever you need to get in Canvas. And if this video did not help you and you're still a little bit lost, just shoot me an email or give me a call, and I will help you out. But other than that, that is all I have, and good luck.